You're live with Lucy Hockings. Let's take you to Ukraine. Several stories we're keeping across, but let's start with energy. Ukrainians have been warned to expect power outages after Kyiv introduced restrictions across the country for the first time since the invasion by Russia. This move follows a series of drone and missile strikes by Moscow on Ukrainian power plants. Authorities warning the planned cuts could happen throughout the day, but say they should last no more than 4 hours at a time. We're also hearing more from Kherson in the east of Ukraine. It's one of the 4 regions President Putin declared to be under martial law yesterday, along with Luhansk, Donetsk and Zaporizhia. Yesterday, Russian officials began evacuating civilians from Kherson via ferry. The move followed comments made by the commander of the Russian forces. In Ukraine, he told the media in Russia that a difficult situation had emerged. We're going to take you live now to Warsaw. We can speak to Ukrainian MP Andrzej Zupanin. He is a member of the Ukrainian Parliament's Committee on Energy, Housing and Utilities. Very good to have you with us. After these strikes have intensified against energy infrastructure in Ukraine, can you give us an update? How bad is it? How badly damaged are your power plants?
Yes, hello, studio. Thank you for inviting me. The situation looks very serious. Our president yesterday told to the press that almost 40% of the energy infrastructure was damaged. I'm not saying it has been totally destroyed, but it has been damaged. And we need time and equipment to restore it and to put it into exploitation once again.
Andrzej, are you getting help from your foreign allies from around the world with what you need to repair this infrastructure?
Yes, there are a lot of friends of us who would like to help us, but the problem is that we need like 2 sorts of help. So first is equipment, and second is financial help. With equipment, there is a huge problem because our system is a post-Soviet Union system, and the equipment that we are using is produced only in few places around the world. So here we would need the help from our political and friends, allies in the world, to press some countries who are producing that, to push them to take our orders and put these equipment into production as soon as possible. On the money side, everything looks more or less okay.
Ukrainians are being asked to reduce their energy consumption by about 20%. Given winter is coming, how are people going to do that?
Oh, that's a very good and hard question, actually. So I see that people are now the most frequent search in Ukrainian Google is everything related to heating, to equipment, to things that can survive winter. So people are preparing themselves. They are buying some wood, to heat their houses if they can do that. They're buying blankets. They're buying warm clothes. So they're buying like everything and looking for everything that can help them to survive and go through winter. Because now it's only October and we are talking about December or January, and no one knows what will be the situation in those months. And in Ukraine, winter is really harsh.
Is the expectation, though, that there might be blackouts for up to 4 hours a day, every day? Is that realistic?
Yes, and yesterday it was announced by Ukrenergo that there will be these power cuts, and we expect them starting from today. The reason is that the infrastructure has been seriously damaged, that's true, but also people, although they reacted, positively when they started lowering the consumption of electricity on the first days, on these damages, on the hits. But then they started, to increase, they started coming back to their real life. So we need to make them, to be them very focused that the situation is very serious and they need to limit the consumption of electricity, and then also to help the country, to provide electricity to all of us, but in limited supply.
Andrzej, have you heard anything from Kherson? Because it's really difficult to get information out of there. But President Putin imposed martial law there the other day. We're hearing that people are being taken out of Kherson. They're being evacuated. What's the latest that you've heard from there?
From what I know, the right bank is, well, now our forces are doing good there. So we hope that they will be moving fast through the right bank and will be able to liberate this part of Kherson quickly. But we were discussing with my colleagues from Defense Committee why Putin did this, the martial law in those territories. So one suggestion is that they want to take people and then use their artillery, to just fire or like hit everything and everyone that is on those who is on those territories, and mostly there will be Ukrainian soldiers if you evacuate all the people from there. So maybe that's the reason behind it. More, we don't know.
Yeah, I have heard that theory too, and it's a very worrying one. We really appreciate the time. Thank you so much for joining us, Andrzej Rzepaniuk, joining us from Warsaw there.
Thank you.